Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody! This podcast proudly presents to you the zero-time tag team champions of the world, the Road Dogg, JJ Brownlee, the Badass, JB Faulkner, Total Spotfest Live, with the ninth wonder of the world, Nick.
And welcome back to Total Spotfest Live. I am JJ Brownlee. With me, as he is every Tuesday, every Thursday, and occasionally on some other days, it is my co-host, Mr. JB Faulkner.
AEW Marks, what's up?
And we are joined by a very special man. He is the internet's #1 index shipper. It is the ninth wonder of the world, Nick.
You know what? I may actually be, because I'm just glad that we're moving forward with things so we can get it over that much quicker.
Yes. Right. Well, thank you for joining us. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, it's an NXT reference. We'll actually be talking about that on our Tuesday podcast. This is our AEW review for the week. We have another action-packed AEW Dynamite show to go over tonight. It is the first uncontested, and now that we're in like the post-WrestleMania takeover world, wrestling's on every night of the week. No more contested shows. So we'll see how this works rating-wise going forward. We all totally believe this is going to be a boon for everybody, especially AEW. So how they do tonight, we're going to talk all about it. We got a little bit of AEW news we'll get to before that. But thank you, everyone, for joining us. We do appreciate it. If you're watching us on YouTube, give us a shout down below. Me and Jamie got our Twitters down here. You can give us a holler, give us a yell. If you like what you see, go ahead, subscribe, give us a like, give us a comment. Also, join the conversation. Follow us on Twitter at Total Spotfest. So, without further ado, you guys just want to get right to it?
Let's do
Hell
it.
yeah.
Let's dive right into it. So, Jamie, you got some AEW news you want to talk about before we talk about Dynamite, right?
Yes. I'm really excited about this
Let's
because
do it.
I'm also our New Japan correspondent. So
He is.
on Elevation, I almost said Evolution. Jeez, Elevation. A person debuted from DDT out in Japan by the name of Kansuke Takashita. And he actually has wrestled in New Japan. He's wrestled in actually quite a few of the other ones, but he's one of the main guys in DDT. He is a good friend of Kenny Omega. He is actually one of the first people that really took him under his wing when he went to Japan. And he debuted on Elevation. Actually, he debuted at the house show first, the first ever house show. Then he was on Elevation, and next week on Elevation there were going to be a 6-man tag with him, Michael Nakazawa. Not going to work here anymore. No. And then the world champion Kenny Omega. But the great thing is, if you don't know who he is, the first thing you do, if you Google his name, or if you put his name in YouTube, you're going to see a match with none other than the one we simp for, Maki Ito.
Yes.
All right.
It was actually really good. And the guy's great. Dude's great. He will fit in there. He's only doing this for a little bit because he's kind of sick of the Japanese scene because he just lost his belt or whatever. That's what the reports are saying. I'm still excited.
It's like a vacation booking, you know. Come over here for a month or so, just do a few shows, go back. Okay.
Just like Maki Ito. Just same thing.
Sure. Well, I know. Well, Maki, from what I've read, her goal is to fully come back over to America long term. Like, she apparently, you know, no kayfabe. Like, she came over like a few years back and loved American culture, and you know, her goal is to, you know, make it in America. So,
You know what the upside to this is? When she does come back finally, there's going to be fans in the stands, and that pop is going to be priceless.
Yeah.
It's going to be so good.
So funny thing, her goal, that's my goal too. I really want her to come to the United States and make it big. That's my goal. And then two, when she is on, to your point, Nicholas, young boy, she I'll get to see lion tamers on TV more often.
Or period. How about that?
Well, we'll talk about that Tuesday.
We can talk about that Tuesday, yeah. But, yeah, you definitely should, at least a little bit, if nothing else.
If I can get one a month, I mean, that's fine.
Dude,
That's
buy
like
the
marriage,
cutest.
bro.
Well, I just hope it placates you just a little bit. I mean, you
a little bit?
you should go to a wrestling live show or attend or watch a pay-per-view with Jamie, because every third word out of his match during or out of his mouth during a match is lion tamer, do lion tamer, lion tamer. Like literally, he spent an hour yelling lion tamer at this match we went to. It was one of the smaller promotions. It was Casey Extreme, I think is what it was.
Yeah. Well, it started with a destroyer. Do a destroyer, and they did a destroyer.
We
so I'm like,
did.
all
We
right,
saw
this is
one.
what I
So
can
he
do.
just like, I'm gonna get somebody to do a lion tamer. So for the rest of the show, here we are, like the KCK community, whatever. I don't even remember where it was, over there. But like 60 people in the stands, and he's just yelling, lion tamer, lion tamer, lion tamer, lion tamer.
I had the guys next to us cracking up, so it was worth
Yeah,
it.
that was a fun show. It really
It
was.
actually
Wrestling
was.
wrestling was
actually
whatever,
was.
but it was a fun show.
It smelled a little weird in there, but it was a good
So-
show.
As a
Good
fan,
tamales, too.
two things I'm proud of as a fan. One, I started a skinny jean chant at NWL. If you
was
remember
great.
that.
That was
And
great.
then at Raw, when we were going there for free, I started an AEW chant. Remember that, Nick?
Oh, was
I
was
do.
that Usi Hot Night?
Yeah, that was
Because I wasn't there for that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
I-
that's
I-
when Flair and Hogan were there, weren't we? And Flair
Yeah.
was wasted.
He was, dude. It was
so
so
glad I
bad.
didn't go to it. I thought that was the lowest Raw could ever get. If you want to hear my true thoughts about how wrong I was, listen to our last podcast. But Lion Tamer, Maki Lion Tamer. I'm all for it. I'm all for Maki I love this. Even if it is, see, in a way, this is almost better if you think about it, because you get a little bit of these guys. They come over here, get a refresher, get a break, kind of get a little different scene. It'll help them in the long run with their profile, no matter what. And it doesn't bog down because you don't have, your stars getting buried continuously. You can give somebody a break, like you can give one of your top dudes, hey, take the next month off, or, whatever you got going on, whatever. And then you got someone else kind of that'll come in, get a good pop, but it's not going to be, supplanting them, So I dig it. I think that's a good way to book. I'm cool with it,
I agree.
So
Well,
that's the news
speaking-
I had. What do you
I
have?
was gonna say I did have one thing I wanted to holler at, because speaking of booking, there's somebody who's not going to get booked in AEW anymore, but Evilise has been reported, not official. I haven't seen anything official, but it's pretty solid that she has been released from AEW. Now, those of you familiar with
Not a surprise.
Evilise's history should not be surprised. She got released from WWE because of that. She was on one of the seasons of Tough Enough, I think. And while they loved her ability and stuff, her attitude they like, can't take it. Nope, you're out. And she did fine. She got like high mid card ish in Lucha Underground or something like that, right? But that promotion was that was such a different promotion, the way they did it, than anything else there.
Well, she got fired from that too.
right? And but she lasted longer in there, I think, than anything. But
Yeah.
she got fired from there. She's pretty much. And
She's
as
burned
talented as she
every
is,
bridge.
she's gotten fired from every promotion she's been at in America, at least. And this is another one. So apparently, what led up to this is that, for one, the production team, the producers, and all that, they started to sour on her after her Thunder Rosa match. So she had a match against Thunder Rosa. Was it on Dynamite or was it on Dark? I don't remember.
It was on Dark. It was during the Women's Cup thing, the Women's Tag Team Cup, or right before it. No, it was right before that, because they
it
did
was
singles.
It was a singles
Yeah.
match.
Yeah, it was on Dark.
Yeah. So it was on
Yeah.
Dark, and she had a match against Thunder Rosa. And if you listen to even anything we've said ever before, all three of us just fanboy on Thunder Rosa without end. She is one of the future pillars of women's wrestling for the next 15, 20 years. or at least we think so. We'll see. But that's a bold claim. But she had a singles match with Thunder Rosa, and she no-sold like a son of a bitch. Popped her in the face, and and just like legit like punched her right in the side of the head, and no-sold the entire thing. And apparently, fans noticed, but production really noticed, and that's where they turned on her. So she was on Twitter continuously, basically, more or less saying that no reason why, but these producers don't like her and blah blah blah, and she's getting this and that, playing the victim card. From what I heard is that nobody liked her. There's a rumor that she stole stuff from another competitor. I don't know if that's true. That's probably bullshit. But nobody liked her apparently in the locker room and behind the scenes because her attitude was just shit. So it's a damn shame. She's a fine wrestler. She's she's got a good look. That kind of red hair and the evil. She's got a good gimmick to her. Terrible to work with. So she has been released, is what the report is.
Yeah. Typically, I'm skeptical when I hear that, but I've seen enough evidence in this case to know that I wouldn't want to come anywhere near. I mean, it's it's clearly you have a borderline personality disorder or something because you just don't play well with others.
Yeah. So
it's sad.
We're not going to be seeing her anymore, which is, Diamante's already pretty much separated, distanced herself from her anyway by going to the singles route. And
which reminds me, have you watched her Diamante's match with Thunder Rosa?
I have not.
I watched that
banger.
I did
banger on Elevation. Where the
somebody has to edit these videos and podcasts after we do it. So I haven't got to watch any of the darks from this week yet. So I'm going to. So if you tell me it's that good, okay.
Spoiler. It's a banger.
It is.
I will definitely check it out. Elevation is. Dark is developmental for sure. And Elevation is supposed to be. I don't think it is though.
Yeah, like we talked about, I'm Billy Zane on WWE. I'm in a life raft. I'm not going down with that Titanic or Titan, if you will, Titan Entertainment. So I'm gonna spend the 2 hours watching Elevation because the last Elevation I guess was long. Like they said, it's 2.5 hours.
They're like that is, I will gripe
matches.
about that. And it's all YouTube, so there's no commercials. It's just straight through, which is a lot. I get that. But from what I've seen of the first couple of Elevations, like I said, like Dark is still more the developmental kids and stuff, but Elevation is like almost a secondary show. Like I said, you've got Britt Baker
and
there.
It really highlights the women's division. Just I know we're getting ready to go into Dynamite, but Britt Baker was on there. She beat Sky Blue. Thunder Rosa and Diamante. Thunder Rosa's on there every freaking Monday, like clockwork. Homegirl's on there.
And
they got some other people on there.
Yeah, starting to get some of the more younger, fresher talent that's getting repeat appearance. Maddie Rinkowski, I think wasn't she on there again this week or something? Yep. So kudos.
It was really good.
Well, let's plow ahead then. You've already kind of started to go into it. Let's just get into it. Let's talk about Dynamite, Jamie. Why don't you start us off, man?
Dynamite was a little different tonight, obviously, because it's their first standalone. And for those who I know we're going to talk about this Tuesday, but I will let everybody know NXT's numbers did go up. They were up over 800,000 this time.
So they were. I didn't check.
They've been over 800,000 since they had somebody big from the Raw roster showing up. I forgot which one it was, but it's been a hot minute. It was even higher than their stand of Stand and Deliver, so that was kind of amazing. But so I'm assuming this is going to be the same thing. And since it was standalone, I feel like that's why it's a little different because it actually started with a promo. They never start with a promo.
I know, right?
That's why. This is why. But it was a short little vignette promo. It was 3 minutes.
Video. It was a video promo, basically. Is what it was.
Yeah, it was the Young Bucks just talk about why they did what they did, and they chose friendship. That's the whole thing. They chose friendship. Don Callis was right. Matt says he hasn't felt the same since coming to AEW. They feel like they're no longer content because that's what the way they became. He thinks bringing back the old Young Bucks, better yet, he thinks that bringing a newer, better version of themselves. It was actually really good, really short, and to the point, and I appreciated the shit out of that. Short
being the operative word there.
Yes.
Other promotions could take note of that. Okay.
Yes. not gonna name anybody. WWE. Then right after that, they go into another little small one of Mike Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
This was actually a good Mike Tyson promo, which is amazing for me to say those words together in the same sentence. You know?
Yeah. So Mike Tyson introduces himself, just talks about everything, and then MJF just comes up, and MJF was like, I'm not trying to
my jerk off friend.
Yeah, my jerk off friend, because he was like saying he needs to be on the right side of destiny, and he's like, I'm not Tony Khan. I'm not telling him to cheat. I'm not doing that. But here's a blank check for if you just do the thing, because he's gonna be the special enforcer tonight for the Jericho Dax Hardwood match. But then what does Tyson do? And the total face move, 50-50 face almost, rips up the check. Then he starts chewing on it and he spits it out on MJF. It was absolutely great.
Yeah, I did see the whole, they put it in his mouth. I'm like, oh, that's Tyson. That's Tyson for you. And he spits it out. I'm like, thank you. Welcome back, Mike.
Dude, I don't know how you would describe MJF's reaction, but it was awesome. It was
so
a
good.
little scared. It was a little defeated. It was awesome though. He nailed it.
In a matter of like 40 seconds, you got all of MJF, and it's the reason that Jamie is so high on him, because he immediately comes out just without even stumbling, just smoothly rose into a neg on Tyson. It's like, I'm a little young. I've never seen your matches. My dad said they were great back in the day, but whatever. And he just doesn't even stop to pause. Just continue. It's like pulls the check out, does the whoa, gets spit in the face. His face, the man can promo better than 90% of the wrestling community as is, and he's 25 years old.
He's the future. He's the future.
He is.
So then we get into a match, and this match, I kind of feel like it's trying to catch that lightning in a bottle again from the Matt Jackson Ray Fenix singles match that tore the house down. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one was, I think it was pretty damn close in some aspects, but far away in others. But is Death Triangle's title match against the Young Bucks with Don Callis there. Don Callis, the only thing he did, just spoiler alert, he was on the mic spitting mad game, talking great. And I hate to say this, I hate to say it, but I love him on the mic when he's talking shit about everybody else and talking about how great people are that are associated with him. I love it.
I love the dichotomy between him and JR too, because JR is very even keel, right? Mm-hmm. He's JR's JR, but he on the mic hates Don Callis, and it's kayfabe, I know, but it's just great their back and forth, because he will say the nastiest things to Don Callis, and Don Callis will say thank you, may I have another, basically, and just roll with it, and it's a fabulous dynamic to have.
So seriously, like he has the same, like he presents the same hatred that I do for Cameron Grimes. Like straight X-Pac heat style, and like it's not, but you feel it, and it's so good. I just
and he just takes. It's great.
Yes.
All right. That's always a highlight. Yeah. Sorry.
So, spoiler alert: this match was a total spot fest. It had everything you wanted in spots. Literally, one of my favorite spots on this was Nick Jackson went up on Ray Fenix to do like a monkey flip. And then Ray Fenix like turned him around, and Nick's back hit the ropes, and then he flipped over the top of Ray Fenix into a destroyer. It's like boom! And it's like, oh my god!
This whole match was like the four of them said, "Hey, let's go out there and fuck physics. Let's just go."
Yeah, it really was
serious.
Like there was a spot where Ray Fenix did a double cutter, like a blind double cutter, like he just did a roll and just went like this, just didn't even look, like, hey, grabbed two hands and pulled him down. It was sick.
Talk about the Ranas. That was my favorite spot.
Yes. So there was a spot where Nick had Pac and Fenix had Matt. And
on the outside.
They're staring at each other, and they grab the shoulders. They peek over each other, which I thought was hilarious.
It was great.
And then they did double, like tandem spike Ranas. Poison Ranas is what they called it on there. Thank you, Excalibur. But it was beautiful.
It was like a tag team was doing it, but it was a member of each of the opposite tag team doing it, and then they went after each other. Phoenix charges Nick, and he moves. Phoenix goes over the rail. Then he gets super kicked. Then he jumps right back up, and then comes back over. And it's just like
does a cutter.
Spot. It just kept going. I'm just like, good God, this is like, yeah.
So the end of this match, because there's a lot to go on for this match, but the end of this match, Pac was able to hit the Black Arrow, and Phoenix was out there on Matt, and Phoenix was trying to hold Nick. Nick was able to push him into Pac. Pac got beat up a little bit. He tagged in Ray Fenix. So Ray Fenix was the legal man, and they super kick him in the face. Nick does, and then he grabs his mask right off of his face.
Clean.
And then,
like in one foul swoop, boosh, just rips it off.
Just off. And then Ray Fenix covers his face like, see no evil. And he gets double super kicked by Matt and Nick. 1, 2, 3. The Young Bucks retain. So one hell of a match, boys.
It was
amazing.
Unbelievable
I gave it 5
way
stars.
to start off.
Personally,
I'm shy to give a match 5 stars right off the bat. I want to go back and watch it, but it'd be very close to it. It's
like a 4.9.
I mean, yeah. You weren't here for when we did the review of the because Nick was actually on suspension when we did the Britt Baker Thunder Rosa. But I was like, I'm not giving it 5 stars right now. Then I came back like, no, 5 stars. That's 5 stars.
That's a 5 star.
This is up there because
cool.
it had everything. It fit JJ's sweet spot because that pace, because you start off with all just like the good back and forth and the kind of the move counter move. So got you building there. And then you had like the total heel spots, like the like Young Bucks were showing off their Dior Air Jordan 1s, which okay, they're heel when they're wearing $10,000 sneakers in the ring for a wrestling match, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, first of all, those are just stupid to buy. And I'm a sneakerhead. I've got a pair of Concord Holy Grails. I've got all the $10,000 sneakers. But anyway, they were doing all the heel stuff. It built up right, back forth, and then just turned into a spot fest. So it's hit all my sweet spots. This is a great way to start a new chapter of AEW, if you would, with their uncontested nights.
Yeah. So right after this, it goes into the backstage promo of Marvez talking to Adam Page and the Dark Order, and it was absolutely hilarious.
It was so good.
So Marvez asks Adam Page what he thinks about the Young Bucks. He has history with them about how they've changed and everything. And legit, Adam Page straight deflected, didn't even think one word of it. And he was just like, hey, yeah, John Silver. He slaps John Silver's shoulder and he's like, yeah, he's going through rehab. He's like, oh, wait. He was like, it's your good shoulder. No, this one hurts now too. And then they started talking about Page is only focused on John Silver's recovery and Southwest egg rolls. And by the way, does anybody want any Southwest egg rolls?
Now this is the type of slow build that Nick was getting at. If you're building towards something, because we clamored for this a couple weeks ago, Jamie. We were clamoring for long-term payout. Page, Omega, All Out. Please make it happen. Yes. This to me feels like they're starting to put that foundation down. Got a couple cinder blocks there. It's
absolutely.
Please do it. Please do it eventually.
So then after that, John Silver starts his rehab and he starts bringing up his arm and he gets it to right about here and he's like, oh, I got it up to here, guys. And everybody's all cheering him on and everything. So it was a pretty funny thing. Then right after that was yet another promo because they usually do the match 2-2 or match two, then 3, then 2 usually. But it was with Marvez and the Inner Circle and Mike Tyson. This was a interesting promo.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I was in love with it because it was Jericho trying to be super face and saying that, you know, after they got the beating of their lives a month ago, they had to think about everything and they had to right the wrong. So they started calling people, and he had to call Mike Tyson and you know, apologize to him because he remembers when he knocked him out on a Monday night in 2000, whatever.
I mean, it's a bit much. We know your face. Just it's fine.
Yeah. Then he asked Mike Tyson to call it down the middle, and Mike Tyson's like, you know, I'm going to call it right down the middle, but if you do something stupid, I'll punch you in the face again. So yeah, it was whatever.
I mean, the best part about this promo is Jericho calling the Pinnacle the pineapple.
The pineapple was that was the pinnacle of the promo.
It was right off the bat.
See, there's Jamie pulling back those word associations, some callbacks. See, we got this. We know what's up.
That's what he does.
Then there's match number 2.
You have so much to learn, young boy. Just sit back and listen.
Grasshopper.
All right. So match number 2 is a women's match of Red Velvet versus Jade Cargill.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna say this: as much shit as we've talked about Jade Cargill, this was her best outing by far.
This was.
Because the number one thing I wrote down was she actually sold.
She sold a lot because Red Velvet looked damn good in this match. Best that she's looked too. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, both of them looked really good. They're both really green, but they are really good, and they're honestly really good together. There was a lot of good back and forth on this. Red Velvet came out and just started working her gut on Jade, and Jade actually sold it and then did a big old pump kick, bro kick, if you will, and it just went back and forth. And then Jade hits this nasty stalling suplex, which looked dangerous as hell because Red Velvet didn't lean back and turned into like a modified brain buster, and it looked like that could have really broke her neck.
It did. It was not spot that great by Velvet. No. But whatever.
Yeah, so the end goes, Velvet was going to the top rope for a moonsault. Jade rolls out of the way, hits her finisher, 1, 2, 3 for the dub.
Dude, I missed that match because I had to step out. I had to make a quick run down the street to the grocery store, so I'll revisit it.
It wasn't very long. It wasn't very long, but it was Jade Cargill's best showing, and it gives me hope because she is a physical specimen, and her offense isn't that bad. It's just, you know, we were always wondering, could she sell? Yeah, she only knows so much, but she was doing some of the big boy moves. Like she's doing some of the, you know, big power guy moves. She did deep 6. Did everybody see the deep 6 on picture in picture?
I missed that.
It was in picture in picture.
Dude, I love the deep 6.
She had her and did a deep 6. I'm like, oh my god, a deep 6.
Well, I think she looked here's the best way to sum it up, really. She looked comfortable in the ring. Because before, I mean, first match, right? Your jitters. Okay, cool, whatever. You get Shaq. Sure, okay. And the next couple of matches, you could tell that she was. This looked like she finally is like, oh, I get the hang of this. I know how this goes now. It's like, it kind of felt. It felt like that. It felt like even though her moveset's just gradually expanding, her presence was exponentially expanding. It looked a lot better. She sold, like Jamie said, and she sold a lot, which I couldn't believe. That's great. So yeah, kudos to them. This is AEW's starting to get things going with their women's division because this is another match. This is another couple people not named, you know, Sheeta, Thunder Rosa, or Britt Baker.
Dude, you know what? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jamie.
No. I was getting ready to move on.
Sorry about that, man. Well, all I was going to say is the women's division in WWE, if you think about it, a couple, 2-3 years ago was just fucking killer. It was amazing. And then you just see what bad creative is done over there. They've still got all the talent, but they just don't know what to do with it. Conversely, when AEW began a year and a half ago or so, the women's division, they had some good talent, but it was just couldn't hold a candle to WWE.
They had
And
no
it's-
idea what to do.
It's
They had no idea
totally
what to do.
flipped now. Totally flipped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think for sure. Still, NXT is still the best women's division, but AEW is creeping up there. It's getting better every week.
It's getting better every damn
Keep
week.
it going.
And speaking of the face of the women's division, Britt Baker had I love her promos. I'm sorry. She just talked about how since Red Velvet lost, and she's got 2 more wins than Red Velvet, she should move up into the 2 spot. Which this promo actually did make me sad. And here's why.
Okay, why?
She's building up that she's the number two, right? Well, the number 1 has her match next week against Shida. So Shida and Conti are going head to head next week. It pretty much cements to me that Ty Conti is gonna lose next week.
Gonna lose,
and
yeah.
they're gonna set up for Britt Baker, Shida 3, and Britt Baker's gonna win this one. It's just it's making me sad because I really want Ty
Tay,
Conti to win it. Yeah, but at the end road, homegirl Britt Baker deserves that belt.
She deserves the belt. It's time, just like it was time for Io to drop the belt at TakeOver. It's time for Shida to drop the belt. No offense to Shida, but let's mix it up. But I'm with you there too. I really love Tay. I think Tay has
She's not
come
going
so
anywhere.
far. Well, she's not. But but in a way, it's almost like it. I don't want to say get overlooked because she's getting big matches left and right, and she's getting a title match on Dynamite. It's just
she's gonna be on 3 of the last 4 Dynamites.
Yeah, so she's not going anywhere. But I'm with you too. It seems so obvious, but we'll see what they do.
You never know, though. Every time we think it's obvious, AEW pulls a fast one on us, and I appreciate that about him. But
I mean, here's the other side before you go forward. Is that Tay and Shida? It is face versus face. So
yeah,
if Tay does win, it's still face versus heel.
Or they make a triple threat. And maybe Britt Baker pins Tay Conti, then Sheeta's like, "You never pinned me," and that's the total WWE thing.
Yeah, don't do that. Do not do that.
Don't talk like that, Jamie.
Don't talk. Sorry. I didn't let Bruce Pritchard out of the cage last time, and so he's
subconsciously poking through. He's like trying to infiltrate AEW, right?
Hey, y'all! You want to see a good match? Here's a good match of Anthony Ogogo with the Factory versus Cole Carter. No, it's not a good match. It was the dud of the night. It was ridiculous.
By far.
So Cole Carter, aka Jobber number 3, because we've already seen other jobbers, but yeah, collar elbow, and then Anthony Ogogo punched him in the stomach, and they called it.
Yeah, I get it. He's an Olympic medalist boxer. So what?
Yeah. Okay.
One punch to the stomach and it's over.
We're going to move on swiftly.
Please.
I don't want to talk about that anymore. So right after that, Miro did
this is a great promo.
Great promo. Basically, he hasn't seen Kip Sabian since Arcade Anarchy. I almost said Anarchy Arcade.
Armorna.
Yeah, there's lots of A's. But then he recommends all the champions in AEW to pull a Kip and run and hide. And I think that's absolutely great.
This is the way to write him out of that and move him on. It was short. Once again, 30 seconds, but effective because you got a good promo guy doing his shtick. I'm ready to see more Miro in my life.
Dude.
Not against.
I want to see him with the TNT Championship. Personally,
I'd love that. I'd love to see him fight, Lance Archer. I'd love to see him fight Brian Cage. Let's see that shit.
Dude, Brian Cage for the FTW.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a stiffy. You can't see it, but
yep. Nipples are hard. My nipples got hard for that one. Thank you.
Dude, speaking of breaking away, not to go on a tangent.
I thought you were going to say speaking of nipples.
Speaking of breaking away, not to go on a tangent, I just have to get this off my chest. Dude, Brian Cage, let the Swolverine free. Get him the hell off of Team Taz and just turn him loose.
He's going. I mean, it's writing is on the wall, but you're right. That slow play is.
That's too much
dumb.
of a slow. Yeah,
this is the wrong type of slow play.
Yeah,
he's too good to be stuck doing silly ass promos like that.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's yeah. Anyway, moving on from that. So
Please
we got into another great match. I love this match. I enjoyed the hell out of this match. It was fun for me. Like, I thought it was more of a fun match because there's a lot of great spots, and that is Dax Hardwood versus the demo god himself, Chris Jericho, who loves having fans there because they sing his theme song. And I'm so glad.
And I think the attendance was up because I think they're slowly, I don't know this for sure, but I believe they're slowly raising the ticket count at every Dynamite. So
yeah. So there was lots of good spots. It was not necessarily a total spot fest because these guys aren't total spots.
It was a different kind of spots.
Yeah, it was a spot fest, but like hard spots. Like one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
The number one for me was when Jericho grabbed the camera and Dax Hardwood looked right at him and just flipped him off, just gave him the bird, and then he kicked him while he had the camera and he gave the camera up. Like, it was so good. There was a lion salt. There was a Walls of Jericho, not a lion tamer.
Tamer. They called it lion tamer, but yeah. It was a Boston crab.
Yes, thank you.
The Walls.
Then, of course, the Pinnacle Pineapple comes out, and then the Inner Circle comes out, and, hilarity ensues, if you will. Tyson interfere, like Cash meddles at the very end, like because Dax got that lion tamer, and then Cash comes out. Tyson interferes, but then Sammy gets in there, and then everybody's just going nuts. And then at the very end, Cash grabs a bat to interfere, and Tyson just mollywops him right in the face.
A right hook that looked really good.
Yeah. Like, I was expecting Chris Tucker to come out like, you just got knocked the fuck out. Then Chris catches Dax with the juice effect. 1, 2, 3. The demo god wins. It was a great match. Post match, though.
Could have done without. They could have stopped it right there. Everybody's in the ring.
Yes.
They're cheering. Go to commercial. You're done. But no.
Yeah, but no. But wait, there's more. Mike Tyson is officially part of the Inner Circle.
He's a what, ancillary member or what? I don't even know.
Ancillary member, yes.
Ancillary member, yeah. Words.
Ancillary.
Words.
Ancillary. I use that word a lot lately because I've been doing time study stuff at work. So yes, ancillary.
I mean, the match. Okay, to me, the post-match soured it a smidge, just a smidge, right? It was a different type of spot, like you said. It was like that. It was that more old school because Dax is an old school wrestler, right? Him and FTR is very much a, 80s, 90s tag team, if you think about it. That's the way they wrestle. They're very hard and strong, that's the way that they do it. It didn't have the big flippy spinny shit that, gets JJ all excited like the first match. But it still got me excited in a different way because it was put together very well. And, I would have rather they didn't bring out the whole Pinnacle and the Inner Circle at all. I like the idea of having just one out. Before the match, Aubrey had to kick out Tully. Tully tried to, weasel his way to be at ringside too. And I like that whole, one-on-one dynamic with one-on-one. But it was fine. It was good. All this is, and you're going to see this for the next several weeks here. They're building up big. Blood and Guts is going to be just bonkers. It's going to be crazy on the 5th. It's going to be nuts.
Yeah, we might just talk an hour just on that match alone.
It's going to be a big one.
All right, so right after that, Don Callis is what they are deeming the new elite. So when the Bucks came back,
T-shirt coming soon.
Yes, T-shirt coming soon. Is at the end, the end of the story it's actually just the beginning. It was a decent promo, whatever. Don Callis says that everyone be prepared to be surprised again. Don literally super kicks the cameraman. I thought that was kind of funny that Don Callis super kicked the cameraman.
You got no danglers, you get kicked.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
The Good Brothers were the best part of that promo for sure.
For sure, because let's all talk about when's the last time you saw a Kangol hat backwards on somebody. Been a hot minute. Buff Bagwell. Just gonna throw that name out there.
I was gonna say 99, 98.
Yeah. Buff Bagwell with the big fur coat, the overly fur coat.
Oh yeah.
I think he was wearing one of those too. But anyway, so right after that they had a Thunder Rosa promo, which I thought was great. She doesn't just want the AEW Women's title; she wants the NWA title. She wants them all. She wants to take over the world. So she honestly feels like she wants to be Kenny Omega and be a collector of titles. And I am here for it because I love everything that she stands for. She's a good person in the community, great freaking wrestler. And she actually just filed trademarks on her stage name with Thunder Rosa and Mission Pro Wrestling. She filed trademarks for both of them.
Oh, there we go. Good for them. By the way, Mission Pro Wrestling is the newest thing. We know what we're doing. I'm here to sit and promote another podcast, but if you don't listen to Busted Open with Bully Ray and Dave, oh god, I can't remember the dude's name.
Dave Garcia.
Yeah, Garcia. They did their WrestleMania special show with and they had Mark Henry on there, and they had Thunder Rosa on there. And Dave and Thunder Rosa have this feud going on. That's, if you don't know what it is, give it about 10 minutes. Look it up. Check it out on Twitter. It's great. At the next Mission Pro Wrestling thing that she's got happening in May, he's going to be there, and either they have a match or they have a showdown or something. It was, go check out, there's a clip on Twitter, check it out. But I love her. She is getting just credit and so much exposure all over the wrestling world. I know that she's technically on contract with NWA, but the second that Tony Khan can throw a lot of money at her, he needs to, because
in a heartbeat.
We know that AEW stars are free to work other promotions. They're free to do outside things. So she fits so great, and I just hate to not see her in AEW for the next 4 or 5 years, because God, she's so good.
Yeah. So right after that promo, we get into our 5th match of the night, and it is Amber Nova, whatever, versus the returning Kris Statlander, our favorite alien, coming out with the best friends to the Pixies. Where's my mind? That's all I care about. Like, anytime I can throw in that they came out to the Pixies, I'm gonna do it.
So if you come out to the Pixies, you're officially part of the group. I think that's the thing. She's officially in now.
Dude, she looked great. I know she had an elevation match, so she already had a pre-match, but this was her first match on Dynamite in a long time. She looked great. Like, everything about her hair was a little bit darker, which whatever, but her moveset, her physique, she looked fit, ready to rock, and she just
JR made comment about that too, without sounding perverted, like King would, or something stupid from WWE, because he said, while she's out getting her knee rehab, she was working on her physique, and she's came back, and she looked really well. She looked very good put together, and her moveset was great. Amber Nova sold well. Amber Nova is her first appearance. She's like a muscle car enthusiast / hot rod model / wrestler chick. Her Twitter's interesting. It's car shows, modeling, and wrestling. It's like, okay.
So she's a dude.
Yeah.
Definitely not a dude. Definitely. She actually got into a very quick little Twitter spat with Jade Cargill, because Jade was talking about abs, and Amber got abs too, so she comes out, and then Jade and her spat back and forth for a hot minute. That might have got her the appearance tonight. So she was there. She was there to take a pinfall. That's what she was there for.
Yeah, it was a squash match.
The finisher, Statlander's finisher, though. Talk about that.
It's like a modified tombstone.
It's glorious. It's so good
she
looking.
gets him up into like a pile driver, like the tombstone, but then she grabs her legs instead of having him like up here where they're like they're at, they're in front of her face. In your face. So she like puts them around her leg, like around her waist, and then she drops it. It looks really good.
She hooks them, like bends them in half at the knee.
Yeah,
and then hooks
wheelbarrow.
Them
boom. Like a wheelbarrow.
It's a good looking finisher. It's called the Supernova, which is the alien thing. It's a great. That's how you do a finisher. People take note. Karrion Kross, God damn it, get a finisher. Sorry, I don't want to go to that show. We're not going there yet.
Yeah. This is the worst part of the night for me on 2 levels. 2 levels. Ricky Starks is getting impatient about Christian Cage. Don't care. I don't care. The other Cage, Brian, agrees to the suggestion of they should just go seal the deal with Christian. So Christian comes out with Tony Schiavone. He actually didn't say, "This is Sting." which was amazing. That was nice. That wasn't that. It was Christian Cage. Whatever. Christian, says huge thrill stand next to Tony Schiavone, and oh my god. Then right after that, Cage is in gear. He's ready to wrestle tonight. Out comes Taz, and with Hobbs and Hook, just Hobbs and Hook. What's the deal, bro? Are you in or you out? And it's like
Taz is getting some heat too. Taz is getting booed pretty hard.
Yeah, because everybody's over this damn thing. Everybody's over the whole Taz family thing, or whatever the hell it's called.
Break it up. Nobody cares.
Yeah, it's getting dumb. So, Team Taz is a bit of a dumpster fire. I think we all can agree with that. That's what Christian even said. So guess what? They start fighting. Who cares?
It's Hobbs and Cage.
Hobbs looked good. Hobbs looked strong.
Hobbs beat the shit out of Christian Cage, basically. Which
then he put his.
It looked fine. It looked good.
Yeah. So we know who Christian Cage is gonna fight next. The only thing with.
Go ahead.
The only thing with Hobbs that drives me nuts is the damn lip curl thing. He always does this.
Well, I know. I don't like it either, but that's
you can look mean without doing the stupid lip curl. You know what I mean?
I know.
You could just mean mug, but the lip curl, I just don't get it. Especially if you got not straight teeth, it just doesn't appeal to me. But I've never been a lip curl kind of guy. But
I'm with you. I could do without it. The one thing I fear with this is because, like I said, Team Taz just needs to either.
It's nothing. There's nothing to it.
Well,
there's literally they don't do anything.
There's nothing to them. So they really need to just kind of disappear, right? They need to just kind of break up, go their own separate ways, do whatever, right? My worry is that you'll start to get this mini faction of Team Cage. You'll have Brian Cage and Christian Cage, and that's just not doing either of them any favors.
Cage squared. Let's go. Said no one ever.
I mean, can anybody else see that happening though? Because their last names are both Cage.
Don't.
Just don't talk that way, JJ.
I'm still.
Bruce Pritchard thinks that's a good idea.
I know.
Don't.
I think that's it. Yeah. So, quicker we're done with Team Taz, the better, because they're breaking up. Everybody knows it's coming. Just get it over with. Who cares?
Yes. So we are on to the main event of the night for the TNT Championship. It is Matt Hardy versus Darby Allin.
Yep, in a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Falls Count Anywhere. So here's the thing with this thing. I wanted to like it.
Me too.
I wanted to really like this match.
I liked parts of it.
Exactly. Overall, I didn't like this match. But there were some really great spots. The last spot was great.
I think that the first 3 minutes and the last 3 minutes were glorious. The middle, meh.
Yeah, because it gets stupid. It was hey, everything's going great. Now it's hey, let's get stupid. Let's get weird. Let's get weird. Let's get weird. For any Workaholics fans. But anyway, so immediately Hardy goes for a chair. Darby avoids it. Matt does catch him in midair when he does a coffin drop springboard. I thought that was kind of cool. So there were some pieces there. Then, so I'm not gonna go through all of it, but there was a twist of fate with Darby Allin's head in a chair. That was a cool spot.
That was good looking.
Yeah. Then in the backstage area, there was a table set up, and surprisingly, the ladder was conveniently closed.
Amazing, huh?
Yeah.
How convenient.
So how convenient for the clock. Matt Hardy puts Darby Allin on the table. Matt Hardy gets up, does the leg drop, 1, 2, and he kicks out. Oh my goodness, didn't see that coming.
Right.
Then out of nowhere, here comes the Hardy family office. So Sting comes out by himself, and he starts.
That's actually before the ladder spot. But yeah.
Sorry, yeah, it was before that.
It doesn't matter.
I really didn't care.
The whole middle of the match was basically Darby getting the shit kicked out of him, and then everybody interferes.
Yeah, and then Lance Archer shows up when Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky were about to go in there.
Dark Order's out there. Everybody, it's what the fuck? It's why have everybody under the sun involved in this? Whatever.
Yeah. So it got kind of dumb. Actually, it got really dumb. Then it got really good at the very end because they got over to the announce table. and they cleaned it all off. Darby cleaned it all off, got Hardy on it, and then he walked around and he got onto the scaffolding or whatever you call that.
It's a truss.
Yeah, there you go. And then he did a coffin drop, probably 15 feet in the air?
Yeah, about 15 feet, traveled about like 8 or 9 feet distance. So
yeah, did a coffin drop, broke through the table, and he was gonna pin him right there, but he was kind of Hardy was kind of sitting up, so he had to roll him off. 1, 2, 3, and your winner is Darby Allin. But again, in typical Darby Allin fashion, gentlemen, about 98% of the time he was getting the shit kicked out of him, but somehow he finds the will to win.
I'm Hardy
to sick of it. I'm not mad about it, but I'm sick of it.
I'm not me neither. I want Hardy to win just so that we could get a different story with the belt, because this every single week, and it's just like, do something different, Darby.
I like Darby Allin,
I do too, but it's like
it's time for something new for sure.
Like remember the feud he had with Sammy Guevara?
Oh my God, yes, I want more of that.
That was great.
Even the one with Ricky Starks wasn't bad.
That was good too. It wasn't him getting his ass handed to him for 98% of the match, then bam, bam, move, win.
Yeah.
He's formulaic now. It sucks.
So I do appreciate that they are really pushing. He's got the heart of a champion, because he does. Because he's refusing to lose, but his body takes so much punishment. But I'm sick of the same song and dance every single time. Like you said, very formulaic. Like, do something different. Give him a squash match. Just give him one, just to kind of change the mindset of everybody. Because then, you know what, we're fans, but we have short memories. I mean, how we forgave Roman Reigns, like we did. Now we hate him again. But you know what I'm saying? Like we did. And we gave him a bye when he came back from leukemia. Remember that? We gave him a bye. Because he came back as a face, but then he turned heel, and then we were happy. We got what we wanted.
Like you could do one cool thing, and we'll all praise you like you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not that hard. Anyway, hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully he loses it soon. We'll see.
Yeah, he needs to lose it, or he needs another move, a submission move. You know what submission move he should do? The Lion Tamer. Just saying.
Dude, I don't know if
Jamie's
I don't know if he's got the weight on him to do that.
No, he doesn't.
It's all about angle, man.
Well,
he's
you
just
know
like,
what?
he's like,
Can
hey,
do it.
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Yeah. I want Miro to take it. I like your idea from earlier, Jamie. I want Miro to take it.
Yeah. Give it to Miro.
Miro with the belt would make my heart happy.
Miro with that belt, and then you instantly, because you're already trying to wedge Lance Archer into this somehow. And Brian Cage is around it anyway. Archer, Cage, Miro, kind of interfering for the belt.
Yeah, a whole bunch of monsters. And here's little Darby Allin. Hey guys, how's it going?
Yeah, one of these things is not like the other. I mean, come on. Anywho,
it's like that picture, that meme with Piper Perry. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of big dudes behind it. Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about ratings real fast here. Let's talk about our rankings. Let's move swiftly into rankings. If you don't know what we're talking about, that's great. So. Jamie, give us actually Nick, young boy.
Yes,
we'll give the young boy a chance. Young boy, go first. What was your ranking for the show?
I gotta go with squash. It started off, dude. I gave that first match 5 stars, and then there was some good stuff. But admittedly, I did miss Red Velvet and Jade Cargill because I had to step outside real quick.
Right.
Agogo, he was pretty strong on the mic like a week. Yeah, he was pretty strong on the mic, so I was hoping to really see some fire, but it was nothing. It was a waste of time. Yeah, I mean we've covered it all. It was a squash.
Squash fest for Nick. All right, Jamie, what about yourself?
I am actually going to go a tick higher and give it a spot fest, just for the simple fact that the first match was amazing. Jade Cargill sold. We got to see Kris Statlander, and she looked amazing. This match was not. It was not. I didn't like it, but the ending was solid. The thing that pissed me off most was the Agogo, and I did like the whole inner circle piece. That was a good match. 4. I think it's solid at a 4.
Okay. Wow. All right. So we got a 3 and a 4. I'm going to come in at Squash Fest at a 3. And if it wasn't for that first match, it would have been a snooze fest for me, because
Fair.
I mean, the first match was lights out. Like we said, that was the star of the show by far. Red Velvet, Jade, Cargill, that was good. Dax Hardwood, Chris Jericho, that was mostly good. Anthony Gogo sucked. Statlander's back, but it was a squash fest, so it's like whatever. Some of the promos were off. The Taz got way too much. So I would have rather that they came out and maybe instead of just doing bullshit, maybe actually did a match with Christian Cage instead of just jabbing your jaws at them if you want to prove a point. But no, they're just gonna egg that on and keep pushing that on for weeks, and then, like I said, we talked about the end. 3 minutes of good with a bunch of, oh God, really? So, squash fest for me. Overall, it was a good episode, but that first match, if you're gonna watch one, watch the first.
And also watch the Kris Statlander match to see your finisher, because it was pretty sick.
Yes, yeah, you definitely check that out. So that was our AEW review for the week. So thank you guys for joining us. We're going to be back next week if you haven't heard already. We're mixing up our format a smidge. Jamie gave you a little tease earlier on, but we're going to be not covering WWE to the extent that we had been. Thank you, Lord Jesus. So we're going to still kind of like gleam over the highlights or lowlights as they are real fast. We're going to talk a little bit about NXT, but we're going to talk about some news as well, and we're going to kind of consolidate news into being on our Tuesday podcast. But then we're going to have dedicated segments. JB's going to talk about New Japan, because that is definitely of his shtick, and I'm going to start talking a little bit more about Impact Wrestling, because as you've heard, we were both really into it. I was a big TNA fanboy back in the day. I still kind of, follow along half-heartedly. Well, that's switching starting tomorrow night. I'm going to follow on full-heartedly. So we're going to give you a little more insight on Impact and New Japan, a little less on the shows that suck. And we are going to kind of just condense that all into one little show. We're giving Nick his own segment, and we don't know exactly what that's going to look like yet, so we're a little nervous.
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
We should call it Young Boy Yaks, because
it's going to be him bitching of some ilk, I know, but we don't know what it's going to look like. So be tuned for that. And then this isn't changing. Thursday is going to be our AEW as it always is. According to you guys, the fans, we ask for your opinion. Our followers and those who listen to our podcast, we got feedback, we got a poll, and by far everybody said that AEW is a number one. So we're keeping this as is. Thursday is our AEW happy time. So this isn't going to change, but Tuesday is going to change. So if you're not really into WWE, give it a listen, because we're going to be talking about a bunch of other stuff. New Japan, Impact. We're going to talk about some just goings on around the wrestling world, and Nick's going to act a fool. So
it's going to be great.
What is there to miss?
Damn right.
Yes.
So that's going to start next week. So thank you guys for joining us one more time. If you are listening to us, we do appreciate it. We do have these in video format on YouTube if you prefer. If you're on YouTube, give us a like, give us a comment, give us a subscribe if you want to see more. Let us know what you thought of this night's Dynamite. Did you think that the Young Bucks and Death Triangle was 5-star matches like Young Boy said? Or did you think the overall the show was kind of meh? Like I was kind of leaning. What were your thoughts? What are you looking forward to moving forward? So that's what I got. Nick, why don't you say some nice things to the peoples?
Yep, it's payday tomorrow. That's all I know.
All right, well,
Okay.
keep up on that journalism school there. All right, Jamie, take us home.
All right, before I take us home, I do want to say, again, thank you to our listeners. You know what? Tell your friends. Tell your friends about us.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to give a couple shout-outs to a few of our steady listeners. We got somebody in Ohio that has been with us, ride or die since the beginning. We got somebody in France who's been a ride or die since episode 1.
Bonjour.
And we got quite a few others. You know, we got some folks in Germany. So just everybody that's been listening, thank you so much. Tell your friends, spread the gospel that, you know, we're actually halfway decent, or we're terrible. Tell them this is funny because we don't know what the hell we're doing.
Look at these three schmucks go.
Yeah, but yes, just spread the word. Eventually we'll get swag of some type, and we'll figure out how to reward you guys. But as I always do, if you're not down with TSL, I got one word for you. Pineapple.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Peace.